What single scene from a movie is an absolute masterpiece? It's more a sequence, but John tearing through the club in John Wick 1 is one of my favorite action events in movies. Super well done and thought out too. Yes. I feel like we had not really seen that before, or at least I haven't. An expert in killing doing what he does best. Methodically and systematically working his way through a crowded building full of bad guys, taking them down. There wasn't a huge long drawn out fight, it wasn't a bullet storm. It was precision and skill. Love it. They filmed the fight scenes for Geralt in the Witcher series the same way. I love the whole continuous shot while they're just being matter of fact about the whole slaughtering thing. I don't know if it's a masterpiece, I don't know much about movies in general, but the fencing scene in The Princess Bride when they've gotten up the cliff was pretty awesome, although it was mostly just the acting that was impressive. Shawshank, the rooftop scene. I think a man feels more like a man if he's got a bottle of suds. That's just my opinion, sir. Normandy scene from Saving Private Ryan. A little detail I love about that sequence is the landing craft captain says 30 seconds until landing. In most movies, 30 seconds is 3 minutes. But you can actually count 30 seconds and then the gate opens. The beach invasion was actually filmed a 1.5-hour drive away from where I live. The water planet scene from Interstellar. The concept, the stakes, the cinematography. That scene could be its own movie. If I remember correctly, every tick you could hear within the background music during that scene symbolized one day passing on Earth, because of time dilation. That's fascinating. Somebody below said this isn't true. This is the theory. This is the breakdown to what you are referring. Let's start the math. If you time 60 seconds of the track and count the ticks, you get 48 ticks. 60/48 equals 1.25. That's where you get the time interval from. As we know, there are 3,600 seconds in an hour. They mention in the movie that every hour on the planet is roughly 7 years in Earth time. 7 years is 221 million seconds. Take 221,003,600 and you get roughly 61,400 seconds that pass on Earth for every second spent on the water planet. Multiply 61,400 by 1.25, the interval, and you get 77,000 seconds, or 21 hours. Thus each tick is a whole day passing on Earth. If you make the assumption that each tick is exactly one Earth day, 86,400 Earth seconds, then an hour correlates to 7.88 years on Earth. The extra 0.88 could be rounding errors by the crew. As an extra tidbit, a time dilation factor of 61,320 gives a tick interval of 1.409 seconds, and a tick interval of 1.25 seconds gives a time dilation factor of 69,120. I know everyone always says this, but the aging scene from Up. Yeah, that was quite the surprise. I remember me and my girlfriend putting on the DVD when it came out and 20-year-old me suddenly and unexpectedly having to desperately hold back my tears so I wouldn't look weak. Nothing weak about crying there. Just means you're a human who can have feelings. Have you seen Scott? Crash, he just left. That guy on bass? That's Todd. Oh yeah? I know. Oh yeah? You know? Oh yeah. Oh no. He punched the highlights out of her hair. Goodfellas, the following camera scene, we all know the one. The Copacabana long shot. I agree. The coffees for closers only https://www.youtube.com/watch. V equals BKJFZCTGMQ8, opening monologue from Glengarry Glen Ross. Fun fact, that scene was not in the original play. It was written specifically for Baldwin for the movie. Mamet loved writing for Baldwin. Baldwin always knocked Mamet's dialogue right out of the park. Arise, arise, riders of Theoden. Spear shall be shaken, shield shall be splintered, a sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises. Ride now, ride now, ride. Ride for ruin and the world's ending. death, death, death. Fourth Aeolingos. Whenever I watch that scene I think about the Battle of Vienna in the year 1683 where 18,000 horsemen attacked in the largest cavalry attack in history. I imagine it looked similar to the Rome attack. And of course, obligatory then the winged hussars arrived. That was the actual inspiration for the battle I believe. Tolkien was a Roman Catholic, so it would make sense that he would equate that which is light and good with the very religious Polish. Edit, grammar. Everything from now come the days of the king. To my friends, you bow to no one. Or I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Just shared the movies with my daughter last night. I'm not a super fan or anything, but the you bow to no one line moves me every time. The T-Rex breakout scene in original Jurassic Park. It says a lot that a movie with a score that phenomenal has no music playing for that entire scene. So good. And it holds up so incredibly well. That is a scene that will stand the test of time for generations. The perfect blend of animatronics and superb CGI makes it look 100% real and should be able to awe people for a very long time. Having the scene play in the dark and rain is also a masterstroke because it hides the artifice. It also caused them real problems because the animatronic T-Rex absorbed the water, making it heavy, causing it to shake until they could dry it out. Deal. The test drive https://youtube.b/steeruk31y scene from How to Train Your Dragon. The music puts the scene over the edge and always gives me chills down my spine. And that scene and song with Astrid's first flight with Hiccup and Toothless. The fairy godmother singing Holding Out for a Hero in Shrek 2. To this day I've yet to see a better entrance than Jack Sparrow in the first Pirates movie. 15 minutes into that movie and the franchise peaked. I remember watching that for the first time and bursting out with laughter when he steps from the crow's nest onto the dock. The scene in Deathly Hallows Part 2 when Hermione polyjuiced into Bellatrix to get into her Gringotts vault. That was some next level acting. I'd care about other people, but when I watch it I totally forget that it's not Emma in disguise, but actually Helena acting as Emma, acting as Hermione, acting as Bellatrix. Yes. Another scene like that is from Thor, Ragnarok. Loki has disguised himself as Odin while glorifying himself, rewriting Asgard's history of himself, but the whole scene is actually Anthony Hopkins playing Tom Hiddleston playing Loki playing Odin. It's amazing. The moment when he sees Thor and just splutters "oh shit" never fails to make me laugh. It's a brilliant performance. Scenes like these are absolutely next level, and it's a testimony to the skills of Hopkins and Carter that they do it so damn well. The rotating hallway scene in Inception, even if only for the artistry that is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I still cannot believe that they built the hallway and the rig to literally spin it. It's amazing. The car scene in Hereditary. You know something bad's going to happen, and at a certain point you know exactly what's going to happen, and it still shocks you. I'd seen the scene before out of context, and that scene still shocked me when I watched the movie for the first time. Not to mention the fact that the movie makes you sit with that scene for like 2 full minutes after the event. Strongest scene I have ever seen in a horror. Amazing acting and directing too. The aftermath also gets under your skin. Like Alex Wolff grabbing his pillow. Felt too real. The mom screaming in the distance haunts me at night. Toni Collette is fantastic, but God, that wailing. Bohemian Rhapsody from Wayne's World. If you're gonna spew, spew into this. When Gandalf says you shall not pass. I am a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Anor. The dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udun. You shall not pass. Go back to the shadow. I think that's verbatim from the book too, except maybe shall not instead of cannot, but Sir Ian managed to make it even more badass on film. The church scene in Kingsman where everyone goes nuts and Harry kills roughly 100 racist yokels while Freebird plays. https://youtube.b/t1-2y perfectly shot action sequence. I think what also makes this so amazing is because we were expecting a kids/preteen James Bond. That is not what it was. The opening scene of Dark Knight. The whole film is a masterpiece, but that scene sets the tone for the rest of the film perfectly and may be one of the best opening scenes of all time. It came out during the most intense time of my professional life, when I also had some personal stuff going on. I love Batman movies, but had no time/energy for movies. I had no idea one was coming out. After a terrible day, I decided to blow off work and go see a movie. Had no idea what was out, was too in my head to care what I watched. Went to the ticket counter, said give me a ticket for your most popular movie. Got a Dark Knight ticket, thought cool, a horse and sword movie. Was pleasantly surprised when it turned out to be a heist movie. Had my freaking mind blown when that mask came off and it was Joker. Best reveal in the history of cinema for me personally. Oh wow, that's awesome. Everyone should walk into at least one movie with no idea what to expect. This might be the best version of that experience I've ever heard of though. This https://www.youtube.com/watch. V equals CIQLDP64 and ab_channel equals movie clips, seen in No Country for Old Men. The coin don't have no say. It's just you. Just recently watched this for the umpteenth time. I love it. So many great scenes. Somewhat related, but in my last watch I noticed for the first time that after coming out of Carla Jean's house, Shire checks the bottom of his shoes for blood, implying that he indeed did shoot and kill Carla Jean. Iocane powder. You have bested me. Spare my life, I will give you whatever you want. Promise me gold. Yes, you have it. Promise me power. It's yours, name it and it's yours. I want my father back, you son of a bitch. Best use of cussing in a movie I've ever seen. The opening scene on the dairy farm in Inglourious Basterds. The editing, cinematography and acting are absolutely insane and maintain the tension in a very dramatic scene. Also the bar fight scene. Having to be cautious about literally everything they do, from the way they talk to the way they move. One tiny slip gave them away so fast. That scene is amazing too. Honestly, listing every great scene in that film would be the same as just giving the full synopsis. Oh my god, they found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Run for it, Marty. I was trying to remember which episode Rick says this, then realized I had misread the name. But you know, that says something when the parody is that strong too. Smile. The church scene in Home Alone. Absolutely perfect. Starts when Kevin opens the doors, the neighbor says Merry Christmas to him, at the end he says Merry Christmas to the man and leaves. It's got awesome repetition on so many levels, and the movie's emotional meaning pivots right there. My point is, you should call your son. What's up, Danger from Into the Spider-Verse? The description of that scene in the script gets me every time. Miles isn't falling. He's rising. It feels weird to say, but that scene has such a personal meaning to me, and additionally it's just cool as fuck. The docking scene in Interstellar. Also, the scene where they return from Miller's planet and find out how much time has passed. I can't not tear up when the accumulated videos start playing. It just hits so hard.